January 5. Join us in our opening ceremonies. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And join me for a moment of silent prayer. Amen. Before we approve the agenda, I just want to extend a welcome to our two new council members, Mark and Andrew. It's good to have you here, and we expect a lot of brain smartness and brain activity. Well, yeah, from you, and no, we welcome your opinions, and we're glad that you're joining us and willing to give up your time to promote the city. And here's, you gotta move a chair, Olivia. This spot. So agenda item number 3 is just approval of tonight's agenda. I don't think there's any changes or anything. So is there a motion for approval?
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 4 is a time that we allow at every city council meeting for Orange City residents to come and express their concerns or questions to the city council on non-agenda items. We just ask that you ask or state your residence. I'm not sure if anybody's here to do that tonight. Not seeing any, we'll go ahead on to agenda item number 5, which is exhibit 1 in your packet, and we need to approve the minutes of the December 15, 2025 and the December 30, 2025 council meetings. Can we do those together, Janet? Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you had a chance to look those over, if you have any questions or if there's a motion to approve.
Motion to approve both December 15 and 30.
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have some more department reports this evening, and we're going to start with Kurt Frieders and the code enforcement. He has an exhibit 2 in your packet that he has submitted. So welcome, Kurt.
Yep. So yeah, you should have received 2 exhibits. The first one I'll talk about is basically the permits for the year with housing and other permits. This year in housing was a pretty strong year. Single-family homes, we had 9. We had 7 duplex units, and there'll be 8 apartments put up, and yeah, that equals 72 units total. So our housing was 94 units this year, compared to 25 units back in 2024.
Really?
So obviously the apartments behind
Yeah.
the Dollar Fresh is a lot of that. So.
Yeah.
But it's good
That's
to see.
good.
Our commercial overall is down. On new structures, there was some additions and renovations along with school renovations to the college. Unity they all did some upgrades to their schools. So we had 88 total permits, which is down. Over the last couple of years, it's usually been around 100. But the value of all the permits was just over $26 million for the year. So the fees there, highlighted in red, that includes all meter and connection fees. With the new permit system we have, it just adds it all together. So instead of breaking it down, so it's the permit fees and the meter and connection fees. So food trucks, obviously with our new online permitting, we get a lot more of those now. We know where they're at in town, and so there's 24 for those.
And are those yearly?
Some are yearly. The yearly ones would be the one up here at the park, and then the one by Dollar Fresh.
Okay.
Are the 2 yearly ones.
So they can choose if they
can
want.
choose. They can choose daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. So. And then on the rental housing part of it, we currently have 522 rental properties within Orange City. 485 of those have been inspected, and the ones that are remaining are newer ones that we haven't done yet, or the ones we had some issues with over the years. So yeah, you guys have any questions on the permitting side.
Just apartment, what was it, apartment-wise, you said, no, I don't want, I should have asked you this before, but do you know how that compares, like, to Sioux Center, or what's available in different towns?
That I do not.
Okay,
Typically, I will get that report because
Oh, At the,
he'll send me asking our
Okay.
report and he'll give us their report at the
Okay.
same time, but he hasn't done
I
that.
just wondered how that compared, but,
Yeah, so,
Out of that number, Kurt, do you know how many of those are like single-family homes in town that are rented out?
I did have that breakdown at one time. Right?
No, that's all good.
It was in the hundreds of, I mean, it was in 100 some of this.
oh, really? Okay.
So, and then a lot of them are duplexes or, yeah, so. Obviously with Hillcrest, they're over 100 themselves, so yeah.
Yep.
But I can get that to you guys if you want a detailed list, so. Anything else on that side?
I think so.
Okay, then the other exhibit you'd have there would be just an updated on city lots. I know we talked about Madison Extension, you know, the reason behind that needing it. So in the Pro Jumper Trail Edition, basically we have 25 lots available. Seems like a fair amount, but really it's on the basically Juneau Avenue east of Hillcrest or 14th Street going out to the new elementary is basically the 2 points that Lincoln Avenue is basically full. That are, I mean, they're reserved. As you can see, we have 6 reserved, and then we have 11 multifamily lots. That sounds like a lot also, but that includes the 6 that we just added on 14th of the smaller lots. So that's those.
So what does reserve mean?
Reserved is on the residential is they can reserve them for 3,000 up to 2 years, and then after that they have to choose if they want to build, or we get it back and they get 1,500 of that back. So we retain half of that for holding it for 2 years. So they just have to start construction within that 2 years. It doesn't have to be finished; it just has to be started. So. That's mine. And then I guess some of the events this year, bigger ones, was the annexation of the Grunewig property on the west end of town. Working with them on a final plat yet. They're not ready to move forward with P&Z on that. Fixed our opening with a big boost. I mean, for traffic and people, and other than that, it's been an average year. So, any questions?
Thanks for all you do, Kurt. We appreciate it. Yeah. Police, Chief Potabom, Exhibit 3 in our, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'll just go over the annual report numbers here. As you can see, incidents were down this year, which was good. I really don't consider incidents call for services. Incidents are more heavily involved with our investigative unit, such as investigating thefts, burglaries, assaults, and other more serious crimes. So we want that number to be low every year, which is good. This was last year. Traffic warnings were down slightly, but still had a lot of warnings this year. A lot of cars out and about, stopping cars, which is good. Citations were up some. Juvenile arrests were about the same, and our adult arrests were down. I would like to think that's going from 7 to 9 officers, and that has a factor with that number, because I know personally when I go to the grocery store or Casey's or anywhere, it's not too often you don't see a patrol car around. It seems like they're really out and about, which I'm hoping that deterrent is because of that. Okay. Accidents were down also this year, which is always good. According to the county's agency report, we took about 3,200 calls for service last year. These are only calls that the county dispatches us to. It doesn't count all the walk-ins, phone calls, and other calls dispatched to by our city here. So I easily feel like, we take on another 1,500 calls a year, just what's coming in and phone calls and what the secretaries dispatch us to. So at 3,200, I believe there's more to it than that. Our newest member of our team, Rome, is doing very well. Rome is a Belgian Malinois who serves as a dual-purpose canine. He's certified in narcotics detection, criminal apprehension, and tracking. We sent Trevor Grease, our officer, to Minneapolis for 12 weeks to train with this dog, and it was a lot of work for him, but it went really, really well. And this training allows officers to handle high-risk situations more safely, and we're really happy to have him. Been using him a lot on traffic stops, and he's already detected methamphetamine in a traffic stop that led to an arrest, so we're using him a lot. So happy to have him.
And he goes home with.
Yeah, he's basically lives with Trevor. It's a lot of work.
Oh, I bet.
Having that dog. I mean, he's with him 24/7. So,
Yeah.
but it's really nice to have him around, especially if you ever have something major. He's a really good backup.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We spent a lot of time in the schools this year during the day and the afternoons. I advise my officers to walk through the schools, be seen, park your patrol car in front of the schools if you have paperwork. That's a big part of me. I feel that's a big deterrent also, and we need to be around in the schools. So we have time to do it, so we're going to do it. We have a lot of schools in the district, so we spend a lot of time in it. Today is the first day for Micaiah Heemstra at the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy. 16 weeks long.
Oh,
But I'm confident she will receive excellent training, and we're excited to have her back as a certified officer. So that's really exciting for us.
so you just got to cover those shifts then.
Yeah, we've been covering. We have 2 part-time officers, and that's
Good.
been working really well. So, yeah. Yep. Grateful for our part-time workers also. Does have any questions?
Staff where you need it. And,
Yeah, we'll be hiring here down the line, but we're just about up to full staff.
Good.
Yep.
Should bring Rome in sometime to meet us.
Yeah.
How's he do like in crowds? Is he
Trevor keeps them really close.
close? Yeah,
Yeah, because it's not like a lab or a short area.
I know.
It has its purpose.
Yeah.
They say they use them as a tool, actually.
Right.
So it's we keep them in the back of the car, but he'll let them out, and we'll do drills and stuff with them, and he's getting used to us, but I don't know if he's quite used to us just to sit next to him.
Right. Yeah. It's got
So, yeah.
an element of trust.
Yeah. Yep. And I think as time goes on, he'll trust us more. So,
Well, thanks for all you do.
yeah. Thank you.
I noticed the presence more too around town, and I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
See, yeah.
No,
So,
it's good. So,
yeah.
thank you.
You bet. Thanks, Jim. Al, to give us a report on the electric department. Welcome, sir.
I'll go over some numbers and some projects that we did this past summer. As far as residential services, we put in 4 new residential services. We relocated 4 health services as well. We're in the process of putting in 2 multifamily housing projects. One of them would be the RTI building, Bob and Allen's, which will accommodate 12 apartments as well as 4 to 5 businesses. The other one would be the Art Prairie Complex, would be 72 apartments. And then the Access building, which will accommodate a couple businesses and 4 apartments there. Me and Kurt's numbers don't jive together because he's doing the whole town, where we're only doing our service territory for electric. So my numbers are going to be a little down from his. So we continue updating the street lighting around the area. Last summer we did a project along the east side of the golf course. We installed 12 new light poles and lights. It used to be Mid-Am territory. They used to be their poles. We rented the lights from them. So now we put them on city power, so we don't have to rent them anymore. Further to the south, to the roundabout, we're proposing a budget number to put in light poles to the roundabout as well. So pending budget on that. Also this past summer, we changed out sodium lights downtown area to LED, as well as Martin Drive. Some of the decorative lighting that we waited till the last to do. That'll complete our change out of sodiums to LEDs. So that was a big project. I think it took, what, 3 years? 4 years. 4 years. Yes. Nice to have behind us. So we continue to work on our distribution system. Some of the projects that we did this past summer is continuing to replace North Feeder north of town. We're kind of planning on future for out that way, so we're putting some 3-phase out that way as well as finishing some of the single phase out, replacing some old cable. So, another project that we didn't foresee for this summer, kind of threw us for a loop, was the Northwestern College football field lighting. One of our feeders runs right through the lighting there, and they wanted it moved. So we had to move a lot of the distribution system there to accommodate their new lights. So it took a good part of the summer to do that project. So we installed a single phase line through the North Wayland addition to serve new lots on Frankfurt and 10th Street cul-de-sac. We installed new single-phase light for the Odd West development, which will serve 14 residential lots. We also installed a 3-phase line transformer for the Bob and Allen's building. Will accommodate 12 apartments, 4 businesses. So, with that unexpected project by the Northwestern College and the derecho, it kind of set us back for our summer projects. We had 3 projects that we budgeted for last year that we didn't really get to. So we're going to try to hit those 3 projects pretty hard this spring. One would be our Delaware project on our North Feeder. Once we complete that, that will give our North Feeder a good feeder to rely on. So another one would be kind of by the swimming pool and our gas border station, kind of by Darren's place, replacing cable there as well. So we did not get to that, but hopefully get it this spring. And then the cable replacement on Highway 10 from GCC to Huber Soft Water. We got some wire pulled in there, but that's about all we did. And hopefully do some terminating on that wire this winter. So. You're wondering what we do during the winter, we do a lot of inspections. We're required by the Iowa Utility Commission to inspect certain parts of town, as well as our 69 line and stuff. It's been 8 years since the IUC has been to town to look over everything. So they came this past May, and they found a few things, not a lot. Some signage on the substation, some rock that needed to be added, some fence repair, as well as some small signage in the distribution system. So this was a note from our inspector, which he stated that our system and inspections are in pretty good order. So that's credit to our line department.
And you know they always got to find something.
What's that?
They always have to find something.
You always got to leave a padlock off or something.
Yeah.
Got to give them something. So, but no, that's a pretty good testament to our group. So,
good job.
yeah, give kudos on that. So.
Do they surprise you with that, or do they?
No, they usually, it's a yearly thing, but like, since I started, they haven't done it.
Okay.
And maybe 3 years before that. So they're short-handed as well. They just hired another guy to come along, this new guy that was there. So they're trying to catch up too.
Sure.
Yeah. Our substations, we continue to maintain our east and west substations. We have 3 substations, by the way. Our east and west, our east and industrial substations are in pretty good shape. So it's good to go. We've been working on our west sub. This past fall, we replaced a T1 LTC and relays. It had been giving us some fits for quite a while now, but hopefully we got that under control. Also at the west sub, where we ordered some switchgear for the inside of the switchgear building. We have that on hand. We're storing it right now. Hopefully this spring, summer, we can get it installed. As well as we have a new substation transformer for that substation as well. You know what the timeout on that is?
Summer or fall probably sometime, I think, yeah.
So hopefully we can get that switched over this future too. So we continue to work with DGR, the engineers, about generation as well. So I think Matt's done a lot of legwork on that. So. God, I went out over here. So locates. That's a big job. The summer of 2024 is when we had the Premier project go through. And with that summer, we had a lot of locates in that. We had 1,259 locates. Now, this summer, I thought it would be less. It's only a little bit less, like less than 100. So they just keep coming in and keeps us hopping. Some locates will take us 5 minutes. Some locates take us half a day. So it's just something that needs to be done to keep our system safe, keep our infrastructure safe, and our contractors safe. So,
And your crew does that?
I mainly do it.
If
I get overwhelmed or overloaded, and I have a couple of guys help me out. So. But, yeah, locating underground wires or infrastructure. So. GIS, I talked last time I was here with you guys about hitting that pretty hard this coming summer, or past summer. We did not hit it at all. We didn't have time. So, I look forward to the budget with Matt today, and we talked about maybe putting a lighter load on the budget, especially with the projects we did not finish. Hopefully we can hit that GIS mapping this summer and try to get a good start on it. So, as far as employees, we had Mike Klotwijk retire after 45 plus years. A lot of knowledge went out the door. So, it'll be missed. But we got Chase Williams hired, 3 years of experience from Alton. Seems like he'll be a good fit for us. So, any questions? That's about all I have.
GIS locating, will that then help with like locating going forward would be easier?
It'll probably be easier. What we would do is locate the whole town as far as primaries, secondaries, street lighting, get it all mapped out on the GIS, get it to exact spot, exactly. Whenever we want to find out what we got in that area, we can pull it up on a tablet or our phones, see exactly what's there, and that will help tremendously. Yeah.
Is that utility wide, just gas and water?
Gas, water, sewer, yes. Yep.
So we had them survey with our maps before, not quite exact, and so this would be more pinpointing it for the future and verifying what's out there and helping when future employees retire, just pass on.
You can do a lot with this GIS. You can pull up a switch or something, and you can pull up a folder or something and say, this is what was done, this is the date of the wire, this is when it was replaced. You can put a lot of stuff, a lot of information. So, but as well, We tried to change out a bunch of switches too. We got some live front switches out there, and we call them Widowmakers.
Oh dear.
And we were trying to get them changed out to dead front, so we're budgeting for 3 dead front switches, and so we can just keep changing them out. Anything else?
Thank you.
I'm sure this is all Greek to you guys.
Just want to know what you do in your spare time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Al. Thanks a lot. Appreciate all of you guys. Agenda item 7, this is, each year we ask affiliate organizations of the city to present and renew their requests for funds. And tonight, we're lucky to have 2 committees, the Tulip Festival Steering Committee and Chamber, and Mike's gonna talk to us on both of them. So welcome, Mike.
Thank you, Mayor. Glad to be here again. Some handouts for you.
And Jenny is the chair this year of the Tulip Festival, right? So you'll correct him if he does something wrong.
Just a little bit of a recap of the 2025 festival year. It was another good year, good attendance. We'll talk about some of the numbers from states and zip codes, but I just want to thank groups like Allen Street Department, the city, different categories that we get assistance from, even the water and sewer guys pitch in. I think it's been last year was our first full year of having the fire department do the accessible seating for us, and that allowed Jim and his guys to be more present walking around the downtown. We used it a number of times. We'll talk about one incident after we get done here.
Did it work pretty well?
Yeah, from our
For
standpoint.
you, from your standpoint, yeah.
It was great. We could, you could call and you could see, get Jim to come, and they were really close and right by. So that was nice to have. So yeah, just thank you for that support, and we appreciate them being able to do that. Artburst and Craft Show continue to grow, even with some numbers on Artburst where some people are retiring. So that's a good thing. The Craft Show, we kind of capped it again this year where we didn't. We've talked about extending it into another street, but probably not right enough numbers yet to where we need to be. But that one continues to be a good. Those 2 events are nice additions for the festival. The road race and Tour de Tulips also grew this year. The road race kind of trickled off during COVID times, and it's now started to come back and be a little bit more robust, so we're happy about that. We continue to offer or encourage partner groups to offer new activities for visitors. Dutch American Heritage Museum, Dutch Heritage Boosters, Arts Council. I'm going to talk about something about that in a little down there, but if there's opportunities for those different groups to do things, library does the book walk, those sorts of things, we're really happy and encouraging those people to do that. Started to do a bit more of a volunteer database organization, so that kind of streamlined a little bit. We did a live stream of the tulip progress in Windmill Park, again this year with daily updates. So that's been kind of a nice thing. It's one of the questions we get asked the most. Had a couple of new food vendors with some new food options that we hadn't had before, so that was nice. We were visited from 45 different states and 327 different zip codes during the festival. So, and then that's not including, international folks, which do arrive. So, we did some revamping and improving to our popular floats this year. There's a couple of them. Some of the tulips and the grass and the greenery needed to be updated, so we did a little bit of that. The costume committee made a trip to the Netherlands after the festival. It was really a wonderful trip where they could make a lot of connections with people and get some more relationships for costumes and how they're going to continue to grow those and come up with new ones. So we've used it a couple of times for a new book that we've got, but then also for like an event where they talked about their stuff and it actually is going to translate into something else here I'll talk about in a little bit. And then we rolled out our new website at the end of 2025. Jenny did a fantastic job working on that. It really streamlines a bunch of different things, kind of combines things together, and gives us some new options to be able to communicate with people and get the information out to them. So, looking forward to 2026. It's the 85th annual festival, so we're excited about that. We've got our Queen and Court already elected and crowned, so we're moving ahead with that part of it. We're partnering with Diamond Vogel Paint for a new float that's going to kind of honor their 100th anniversary, so that'll be a new item. And then we continue to work on plans for our float fleet itself. Like, what does that continue to look like? Some of that stuff is old bus chassis, and they're hard to keep running every year. So we're looking at how do we transition and keep new rides and stuff like that, or new floats continuing to come. So we can share new experiences via the website design, just with locations of food vendors, and then also some of those other events and things that happen during the festival. It'll be easier for visitors to see. We've got a new tulip planting subcommittee that we'll work with NOAA on how do we continue to look at where are we planting tulips and how many and how does that all look, especially with the new portion of the park downtown. How can we have viewing for tulips in the most prominent places? So again, we want to continue to promote the changes that are happening as we kick off the 85th, and everybody gets to experience Windmill Park with all those changes this year. I think it'll be a really nice addition and a great place for people to see things. So again, just continuing to grow the road race and the Tour de Tulips, encouraging partner organizations to come up with new ideas of things that we can do. The Stip Work Luncheon will be happening again with the Dutch American Heritage Museum. We're working with OC Arts on a decorated wooden shoe community project that they hope to have put together by May. So we'll see where that plays out. But yeah, just if there's other things that other groups can do or want to do, we're happy to continue to, make those partnerships work. So we've got a volunteer that's going to actually take over the volunteer database and kind of look at all of our volunteers and how do we keep the needs for volunteering different areas, how do we keep those under one umbrella so that we get the information out both to the public, but then also to those people in our committees that need volunteers. We're looking at some new food options again this year. We've got a couple of long-time concessionaires that may be stepping aside or taking a rein back a little bit, so we'll look at those options. Kind of talked about it before, but there'll be a new Klederdak program this year, kind of like the Dutch Dozen. We kind of learned that from some of the rain shows we had to do last year, how good those went over. We filled up every single time we had to do a rain show, and it just felt like we got a lot of comments afterwards that being able to see the costumes on stage, hear a little bit more about them, was a good thing. So we're creating an actual program, which we'll talk more about publicly as we get closer to it, but that'll showcase costumes and go into a little bit more detail for visitors. Even when you're on the street on the parade, it's hard to see.
They're walking by.
Yeah, they're going fast, and so we're excited about that. I talked about the Orange City Arts wooden shoe decorating thing already, and then we'll be offering some festival-related merchandise that'll be kind of unique this year. That'll happen during the festival, so we're excited to talk about that. Kind of in line with what we talked about earlier with police barricades. We've talked with Matt. Maybe some of you have seen the video of Saturday afternoon where somebody rode literally right in front of Town Hall here during Mode Show, did a U-turn, and then sped out. Luke was manning the intersection by Dave Baumgar's house and couldn't stop him. So what do we do? We've used cement barricades in different places before. We did a little bit of experimenting of that in the festival or with Ragbri last year, and we think it worked out really well. So don't be surprised if we'll work with the different street departments and different organizations, and we had a pretty good plan for how we needed to move those for fire if we needed to during RAGBRAI, so that worked pretty good. So in today's day and age, you know, we have to be thinking about that kind of stuff. So that could have been really
Very
bad.
bad.
So, yeah. But we'll work together with city departments
Yeah.
and fire and police and to come up with a plan on what's the best,
Yeah,
how do we best accommodate that, I guess, is what we're taking a look
Yeah.
at. So, yeah. And then again, just thanks to the city crews for all the help they put on with that. So,
I asked some about with, this might be a strategic planning thing, I'm even thinking, like Diamond Vogel building their new float, are they gonna house that? Will they,
we've got a space for it.
got space, okay, but like as the years go on and if we wanna encourage new floats, does the city, do we need to kind of look at expanding our storage space or our float space or?
Yeah, float space is always a challenge
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
With these floats that we're actually building.
If they're getting more
They're working at,
bigger.
well, we're kind of taking a look at them and saying, what makes sense?
Yeah,
How do
yeah.
we, is there ones that have been really old that really, what sentimental value do they have? Can we come up with new ideas and do things differently? But, you know, those guys are building floats in Jamie Valentine's shop.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've talked about the idea of could we rent something or have a space where it's literally just all we do is work on floats.
Right.
And then offer that to Dutch Heritage Boosters or some other organizations in the off season to be able to do those sorts of things. Yeah, there's room out there for some expansion on some of those big sheds. I think it would be.
It might be a good idea for a few of our groups to work
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, you know, like the sound shed.
Yeah,
Right now, that's full of Dutch Heritage
Yeah,
Booster stuff as
yeah.
well as our stuff in the off season. We've still got stuff in the old band shell, the old tire station downtown. Some of that's nice to have in close proximity, but the rooms are all there, that kind of stuff. You know, knowing those guys use that stuff too. So
but we maybe want to talk about that. So good, that's good.
that's what I have for that.
Just a quick question. 990's been filed on this for this fiscal year.
Not for this fiscal year. We're working on that now. Right now, so.
And what's the 50,000 of other grant income, just kind of curious?
So when we get like betterment board stuff, or like for instance, Vogel is helping us with that float. Sure. So that would go into that as well. Yep. Chamber stuff. It was another busy year in the chamber again. We had 16 new ribbon cutting and business transition events, whether that's doing groundbreakings at the college or Quick Star or Foxhole. Some of those take a little bit longer sometimes than it's kind of up to the business to be able to do that. So there's a number of times that the ambassadors were out and about doing those sorts of things. So it's nice to see that again. The merchants had a number of successful promotions and events in 2025 again. Most recently, some of the things that they did during the Christmas season really went over well. They had good visitation and people coming in from different areas all over, all the way up from the lakes to Sioux Falls to Sioux City and those sorts of things on some of those events. So they continue to investigate ways to do new things and to keep that promotion and events calendars moving and keeping traffic coming to Orange City, not just into the downtown. So did quite a bit of work with retail, industrial, and commercial recruitment and support projects. That's always a busy thing that we do each and every year. Farmers Market continued to grow. They had 25 different participants this year, not necessarily all every single week. But even during the times where we had rain, we were able to go into Hazelig and kind of did that as well. So that works out really nice, having it right there on Central. And then they did something new, which they'll have another one here in January. But in December, they had a winter market where they set up. There was 10, 12 different people there. And they just set up and opened it up. It was the week after we did the holiday market. So they as a group want to continue to do those things, to kind of offer things year round, which is a great way to continue to get traffic. So the little different demographic of people than would normally maybe come into the downtown. So we presented and partnered to the Northwestern College Entrepreneur Class and helped them evaluate projects. This has been something that we've been working on with the business department for a long time. It's really fun and exciting. We've never actually had somebody that had an idea that came out of it and then went into actual business ownership, but they had one in Marcus. I think she's since closed that down, but you never know what you're going to hear for an idea, so that's kind of a fun one. Ragbri 52, we were the starting town. I think everybody knows that. It was a lot of work, but also a lot of fun, so we were glad to be able to do that, and they're starting to make plans for 2026 already. And, that was another one where, again, utilities and street and water and, all those guys coming and helping us with all that stuff. It made it go really well. And just all the community support. So continued to have the monthly Vibrant meetings with Vibrant and Move Small, Live Big program, and that website and all of that data. So that's been a nice addition. We've been doing that since COVID, so I can't believe it's been that long already, but that's kind of our marketing tool for getting out and trying to recruit new people to move here throughout the year. So Smoke Off event was in its 5th year this year, had good attendance and good participation by smokers. We'll continue to look and see how we can continue to grow that. And then the other thing that's been, it's been about a 2-year process, but this retail initiative project participation has taken up a lot of time, a lot of work, working with that small committee and a group of retailers and just different community members as well. You've probably heard about that, how we're hopefully bringing something to City Council in time for strategic planning on what has kind of transpired for all of this. I think I've already seen from the merchant side of it, there's been a lot of good collaboration and good ideas that are coming forward. So 2026 objectives, continue to support that Vision 2035, the big old booklet of stuff. Mine's getting worn out, but there's a lot of good stuff in there. And I do really think that this retail initiative project really could fit in with that really well. And there's some good ideas coming out of that. We never really addressed specific retail stuff in that. It was just kind of an overlapping thing. So I think we could kind of take that and make that part of our Project 2035 initiatives going forward. Look to continue to support and grow the Vibrant OC program, the Grow OC program, our Look Local First initiatives with merchants and just getting community members to think locally first. We want to continue to foster relationships with, again, like Arts Council and Dutch Heritage Boosters and the museum and library, and just get them all involved and keep them going with being a part of some of the other different stuff that we're doing. One of the things that's come out of the retail initiative is that we're creating kind of a master calendar for a bunch of different things. We're going to talk to the merchants about that next week, about where they can put all their stuff in, but then we'd also have Arts Council. Everybody can just place all their stuff and it can be just a one go-to spot for people. So we want to continue to look at the farmers market and what that looks like and the events that they have there. Food trucks have been brought up, food has been brought up, just a lot of different things that we can continue to do on Saturday mornings. And then just continue to support other group efforts that will benefit our business community. Things like Ragbri, when can we continue to get an influx of people into Orange City for different reasons than they would normally come, whether it's outside of the festival or college events or those sorts of things. So, yeah. It's been a busy year.
Yeah, it has. Very busy. And it's gone well. But I noticed my one day a week I help Carrie out at her shop on Main Street close to Darren. And I am truly amazed how many people are walking the streets of Orange City. I mean, in a good way. I don't mean that, but there's looking, and I have groups of ladies come in there and they look around and, oh, now where should we go? Well, then you kind of go get coffee. I kind of tell them the layout of that, but there's groups of ladies, probably close to my age that are retired, that look to go to smaller communities and check out what's going on in those little towns. One does one, I think, by Ida Grove. There was a bunch of ladies that went there. They set out a weekend to promote, and we're out there. So it's a good thing to continue to promote. I'm excited about that retail being part of the strategic plan.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that's going to come out of the retail thing too, is, you know, for a lot of years we've talked about how do we create like a map of other places that they can go.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you print that, somebody new comes in or
Right,
somebody else closes, and then you've got, with the changes in digital printing that Ployme can do for us now,
Yeah.
we can print a few off,
Yeah.
have it be a tear-off map, and then that will
Yeah.
only enhance
Right.
the visitor experience for people. So I think that's one of the things that
Right.
is probably going to come out of that from the retailer side too. They're talking about a lot of different things.
Yeah, and it's good just to be good neighbors and point them to a different store or, yeah, so.
Mike, you got numbers in here for RAGBRAI, just for chamber, but do you or RAGBRAI give like an estimate of what the economic impact of that?
RAGBRAI does. They do it. They've done it over the course of the 50-some years of RAGBRAI, and I think it's like a $7 or $8 million type thing. I haven't heard from.
City?
No, just as a whole for the whole week. Yeah. That's one of those things that's really hard to quantify, because it's even hard to quantify for the festival, because one of the things that we like to say, even in relation to the festival, but it also applies to RAGBRAI, is just because somebody came during that event and didn't walk into your store, or maybe it was a pain in the butt for you at the store, you can't buy that kind of marketing awareness, because you never know when they're going to come back. How many times have all of us heard, well, I heard I came here for the festival and now I've retired here because I love it. Darren, I think you heard that from people from California during RAGBRAI who thought that we literally just put up all the flowers in the park and hung them from the light stands just because RAGBRAI was happening. And we were, no, this is how we live. So, yeah, so that kind of stuff can come back, and it's hard to put a number on that. So,
Mike, just a couple of financial questions. The other income, 21,000, what is that?
so that is,
It says other income. I'm just curious what the source of that was.
yeah, so that's, we partner with the festival and the Arts Council for different expenses out of the office.
Oh, okay.
And then the
Yeah,
festival
that's what
contracts with
reimbursement
us, right, yep.
And I see on the balance sheet, there's accounts receivable of 45,000, accounts payable or liability of 62. Just curious what those are.
So the accounts receivable would be, with the way the fiscal year ends, the new one starts in October, so some of those are done before the end of the fiscal year, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah,
And
I
then-
understand that.
And then the liabilities is bonus bucks type stuff and other,
Okay. So the accounts receivable is what? Who owes us money then, or what?
just dues
Oh,
paying members.
unpaid dues.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah. Because those are done different times throughout the year.
Gotcha. Okay. Understand.
The collaboration is keeping all of the other city entities.
We've got to continue to
Makes
do
us
more.
better, yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff happening with the museum, with Dutch Heritage Boosters, with the Arts Council, with the library, and we just got to continue to try to drive people to. I think sometimes we forget that we're only 7,000 people. I mean, there's a lot going on for that. I mean, look at your reports with other organizations and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff happening. So
Yeah, every group is kind of talking about collaboration this time.
Yeah, so that's good.
Is it on each group to kind of reach out to the other groups? I mean, or do you guys, like, the museum, the library, do you guys all meet so often, or?
we don't necessarily meet so often, but like all of them have been invited to this retail.
Sure.
So it's kind of a hard description name to say retail, because it's not all retail. I mean, there's been just random community members that have said, hey, I'm interested in helping with something like that. Jenny helps with it. Joe Van Gorp helps with it. Darren sits on that. Steve's doing a lot of work. Russ Adams is doing a lot of work. And then underneath that is even, just people that volunteer at an organization and then come because they've got ideas in it. So, yeah.
So then the goal is how we're gonna bring it all together, right?
Yep.
That's,
Keep it moving forward.
And, yeah,
So
have a-
they came up with like a list of 90 different things that they'd like to do.
Well, brainstorm, yeah.
But some of them were like, we'll continue to do the festival. Well, yeah, check.
Oh, I was worried about that. Yeah.
So we got to just start taking that low hanging fruit and have it in front of everybody and say, who's going to do this? Because some of that stuff too, Jenny and I went through and created this already exists. This is an infrastructure project that, streetscaping or an alley, doing some work in an alley. People said, well, there's some really cool alleys. We should improve them or do something different, or bike racks, well, that's an infrastructure thing. So, but does it add to the ambiance and of everything? Yeah. Walkable sidewalks, bike paths. So I think that's some of it that'll come on.
Yeah, and some other stuff like with King's Day, they're trying to say, okay, what can the Dutch Heritage Boosters add to for King's Day? How does the museum be involved? How can the library be involved? So it's more of a bigger day, a bigger function that catches more people and
It's really a community event.
type of thing. Yeah. So just one example.
Yeah, even with farmers markets.
Yep.
I mean, ISU Extension comes down and does things. Well, they're not, but they do stuff with kids. You want to come down and do that with the kids?
Sure,
Do it.
sure.
Yeah.
Great, thanks. Thank you, Mike. Okay, that every 2 years after elections and stuff, we have to have council appointments and mayor appointments, and that's where we are in the agenda. Now, we're agenda item number 8 is council appointments. And first of all have a list, it's Exhibit 4 in your packet on the employee roster of personnel. And I think we just had need a motion to approve these people? Is that what we do with that? That you may still sit here. Yeah. So, and that you can look through, it lists everybody that's affiliated with the city, so that's good. Got a good group of people. So we just need a motion to approve the employee roster of personnel.
That's just full-time employees?
It is just,
Is it just-
and then the fire department's listed, yeah.
Yeah.
So moved.
Any questions on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And the other one under that is our city attorney, which we have kept him busy a lot, and we appreciate everything he does. It is a council appointment. I always trust Brad's input and his leadership in any legalities that we need. I talked with him briefly. He is willing to continue to serve, and that's been how many years, Brad?
I started in 2012. Yeah, and I
Is that
think
after Lauren?
yeah, Lauren was here probably 25, 30 years, and Earl was 25, 30 years after that. So I would guess our firm has represented the city for close to 75 years running. Little has changed in that time.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. But your fees haven't changed at all.
No, they're still the same.
I appreciate you though, but I would entertain a motion to continue Brad as our city attorney.
I'll make that.
All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. We'll keep you, well, I hope we don't keep you too busy. So agenda item number 9 is some mayor appointments that I have. Do we do these separately, Janet?
You don't have to.
You don't have to. The list is I've asked Aaron to serve as mayor pro tem, and so he's graciously accepted to do that. And Jim Potabom has saved my heart a little bit in accepting continue to be chief of police. He does an amazing job keeping our community safe, and really appreciate his leadership in his department. Just need to meet Rome. I'm a dog person. And also Fire Chief Dan Roger, this is his second time, right, Dan? And fire chief and has done a great job, and we're glad that he, I would like to continue to bring his name forward to continue in that role. And then also you guys, or maybe we should do those three together. Should we do those three together? So if there's no comments, or if you just need a motion to approve those three appointments as Mayor Pro Tem, Chief of Police Jim Potabom, Fire Chief Dan Roger.
I'll make that motion.
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Great. And then we have a list here of the city council members and myself and some of the staff serve in different capacities and different program representatives. And of course, we have to change that when we get new council members or staff changes. And we reworked that, and it's been sent out to the council. It's Exhibit 5 in our packet. And I think people have had a chance to look it over. I'm not really going to review it, go over it line by line, but if it meets the approval of the council, I would entertain a motion for approval.
Make that motion.
Support.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Great. Thanks. Agenda item 10 is setting our council meeting dates, and we currently presently meet on the first and third Mondays of each month at 4:30 in the afternoon. And I don't know, Andrew said something about Friday.
Friday at 5.
But I don't know, we've got to let him be on here a little longer, I think. But, so hopefully that continues to meet. It's a good time, I think, usually for the staff and if there's no questions on that, I would entertain a motion to continue at 4:30 on the first and third Mondays. Occasionally we have to have an extra one in budget time. Kent always wants us here, so yeah. So is there a motion for that approval? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And the other agenda item 11 is we need action to be taken on the official newspaper, which presently is the Sioux County Capital Democrat, which usually Sarah's here, but Doug just can't stay away. So Doug comes, and we like you here, Doug. You're a comforting piece. So is there any discussion, or is there a motion to approve Sioux County Capital Democrat as our official paper?
Support.
Good. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There's a motion, you'll notice, for authorization to issue checks. Currently, it's the city administrator, city clerk, and financial officer to issue checks for the contracted salaries and wages, postage, freight, insurance premiums, utilities, bonds, and interest payments, and contract payments without further action of the council. And then all of the checks are written after council approval. The summary of warrants that you get at monthly meeting is presented for the council to review on a monthly basis. Is a listing of all the checks, including those with previous authorization. Correct? Correct, Kent? So we just need to authorize those three staff to be able to write checks.
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Great. Agenda item 13 is Exhibit 6 in your packet. We've talked briefly about this at our last meeting. It's a Dutch front proposal RTI. And I think, Matt, you're going to take that off?
Yeah, appreciate Kurt's work on working through that with RTI and the Dutch Front Committee. It's been in front of the council a couple meetings now. I think additional feedback was sought from the Dutch Front Committee as far as percentage of what they felt was Dutch. They came back with some thoughts on that, after looking at that and getting feedback from the council and some of the discussion that was had here, as well as working with the developer and the investment they had there. we were making a recommendation of the $100,000 mark. I think last time, somewhere in the $80,000 to $100,000 was discussed around the council table. But just considering the investment that the group is making of, I think, $300,000+ on that. So, yeah, that's kind of where it's at. Certainly open for additional discussion or thoughts on that, but put that discussion there.
Yeah, I think a third is about right for total.
Last meeting, the budget committee recommended 25,000. What was the change, I guess?
Yeah, so they initially, at their initial meeting, recommended full payment. And then I think at the first time it was brought to council, correct me if I'm wrong, Kurt, but the additional input was sought from the Dutch Front Committee as far as what they felt was Dutch, not necessarily funding, but what was fit with Dutch design. I think, again, probably getting into some of the weeds as far as some of the design aspects, but I think the stone was probably the biggest aspect that felt was not that way. So, yeah, I think there's also some process points that were missed along the way that there should have been a pre-authorization as opposed to getting authorization after the fact. So kind of considering all of that and as well as I think had they been involved, the Dutch Front Committee been involved on the front end of it, I think they probably would have gotten some additional advice on what could have been the better adhere to the thoughts there. So kind of taking all that into consideration, that's where we landed. So.
Your meeting with the RTI folks, did that, go well? And I know that was floating out there.
I think after they put the number to what it actual cost was for the front, kind of shocked them with the extra cost of doing the facades and the peaks and stuff. I think it just came back to them as this is a lot more expensive than what they thought the reimbursement would be from the city. That $100,000 basically is set at the max what the city would give out anyway for the building. That's not saying anything for the north side of the building, which we could have gave money for, due to the drive-through canopy, and really there's not much features there that would coincide with that. Did do a little research on the 17th and 1800th century architecture of the Dutch. Stone was an alternative for facades and front entrances. Only difference would be it was probably a lighter stone than the darker stone, but stone is actually an item that they used back in 1800. So.
And this area didn't need to have Dutch fronts at all, correct?
Correct. No, it's just a recommendation, right, to do. So.
It's amazing how many citizens I've had tell me how nice they think it's would be. That it's really going to be a nice addition along that corridor.
I'll make the motion that we go ahead and approve the $100,000 for the Dutch front.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
The Dutch Front Committee okay with that recommendation? I don't want to overstep a committee recommendation.
They were, after they gave their 25% thought or their portion of it, and basically was left at Rod's and then came back with our recommendation back to council. Say they have not been notified of it. Like Matt was saying earlier, is initially they approved all funding, max funding, initially, and then it was council decision to send it back to them to see what they truly thought of what the Dutch features were of it. So then that's where they came back with the 25%.
Yeah, I'm thinking Rod said something, I could be wrong, but that they were just giving their opinion on what they felt was truly met the Dutch, that they weren't opposed to the council giving them more, but this is asked for their,
Ask for their opinion on.
I think it's a good opportunity for us as a city too, as we encourage outside development along with our current builders and developers from town, make sure that we got our processes in place that, if this was a learning experience.
Experience,
Next time, whether it's in the area that it needs to be Dutch or not, we get it out there right away and.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, that's usually the number one goal. I know Mike's good with the two, with businesses coming, that the program's there and stuff, and so.
I want to encourage businesses in the areas where it's not required to still be able to, or still do it.
Yeah.
And then like in this instance, yeah, they knew it was there, they knew the funding was there, they just didn't know the correct process until all of a sudden they were going up, and the project got delayed so much that on the back end, so it just kind of was a roller coaster, and just kind of everything kept getting pushed, so.
Any other questions? Good questions. I'll call for the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Great. Okay, where am I going backwards here? Okay. That takes us to agenda item 14, which is the Access Holding Urban Renewal Plan. That is Exhibit 7 in your packet. And Kent, thank you for coming up.
Yep, thank you, Mayor.
Yes.
So this is, we're starting the process. We did this, the last meeting for North Wyland. Now this is, an urban renewal plan that our attorneys in Des Moines are helping us, draft, and that is what is in your packet there from Allers Cooney. This is in regards to Access Holdings, which is the building just north of City Hall here. Ryan and I started meeting with them basically almost a year ago in regards to that process. If you recall, in the spring, they came to you guys here in regards to approving a TIF application, and then they were applying for a Catalyst grant as well with the state, right? So that was all done in the spring. We're now developing the urban renewal plan / TIF, tax increment financing, and this is for monies to give to businesses or that we want in Orange City or to develop in Orange City. So this is just the start of the process. We're asking for the resolution to set the date for the public hearing to be February 2. In regards to developing the plan, there's a few other meetings that are in between that. So part of it is like when we say consultation meeting, that is set for January 12th, and that is we're going to send out some notices to the other government entities, Sioux County, across the street at the courthouse, to MOC School, and to
College. The CCs, they don't get that anymore.
Okay, so it's just the two? Right. Okay. So just those two have an option of coming to object, not object, ask questions about the plan. And that's set for January 12th. And then
that's the first part, that first resolution?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we're setting a public hearing for the plan as well as the consultation meeting, which will be on the 12th. And then the last thing, the P&Z, I'm not sure how, and then the P&Z meeting is also one of the requirements of establishing the urban renewal plan. That is scheduled for this week, Wednesday the 7th. And so P&Z will be here at 7 a.m. and we'll talk about the plan with them as well. It's kind of a boilerplate that we just got to go through the process. With P&Z, it's just like, hey, does this meet our land use comp plan in regards to growing for Orange City? And it's since we're doing the plan at this stage in the game, obviously it's done, and so it's just getting it done with the attorneys and getting the plan established. What it has to do with is in regards to the plan is being done now, because of the valuation of January 1 of 26 will be the full value for Access Holdings, which their first TIF payment then would be in the fall of 27. So we just got to have this plan in place by the end of 26. So I'm just starting this process now, even
so
though it's
that's
already built. That's why it's a little bit, permit comes, and then, but we're doing this after the fact.
Okay.
So anyway, any other questions that you have? Otherwise, I'm asking, I guess, for the first part here, for two resolutions. One, to set the meeting, the public hearing for February 2, and the consultation meeting, like I said, is going to be January 12th. And that's the first resolution. Second resolution is the development agreement that Allers and Cooney would like us to, and we already have a signature that Ryan got earlier this spring from Tyler, but it's
an agreement that we're entering in basically, and that is to give them a 10-year TIF that will start in the fall of '27. So that's the development agreement, and we just need you to approve that as well.
So those two resolutions.
Those two resolutions. Thank you very much.
Yes, and Janet, you have those down. Any other questions for Kent before he's not going too far? Anybody want to make that motion for the resolution?
Support.
And Janet knows it, so. And it's a resolution, so with that, we have to do a roll call. So, Andrew?
Yes.
Okay, yep, got it, Mark?
Yes.
God, I got all these different names and you're all out of order. Brett? Did you say yes, Brett?
Yes,
Okay.
sorry.
Olivia?
Yes.
There.
Yes.
Okay. Then the second one is to fix the date for the public hearing for February 2.
Support.
And that 2 is a resolution, so I'm going to start with Mark.
Yes. Yes.
Did you have to say names?
Yes.
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 Andrew. Great job, guys. Great job. Okay, takes us to agenda item 15, a special event permit. You want to talk about that, Matt? I mean, I thought it was kind of exciting to read about it.
Yeah, I think Janet's been doing a lot of work on it. I think you had a permit application, Janet.
Right, yeah, it's
Okay.
just for the hospital, for May 21, to celebrate their 20-year anniversary in their current facility, to use the park downtown and close off a couple streets
So
for
it's after Tulip Festival. Is it?
May 20.
Is that
It's like a-
May 21, Jenny? So the 21st is what day?
I think it's a Thursday.
Thursday?
I think,
Okay.
yeah.
So we just need a motion to approve the special event permit.
Yep.
Is there a motion to that effect?
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 16, natural gas operator qualification plan. Matt?
Yeah, so we have a template plan from the IAMU. This is basically the plan. Welcome to read that. Basically details all the skills and everything that we have. And it gets reviewed by the Iowa Utility Commission. And they recommended several changes, so we're recommending adopting those changes based on keeping up with qualifications and changes in the industry, that sort of thing.
So you just need a regular motion to approve that.
Yeah, exactly.
So moved. Support.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And agenda item 17, Northwest Iowa Safety Group 28E addendum, and that is Exhibit 8.
Yeah, and I actually included another red line on the back page of your packet there. It basically cleans up some language. Those are the changes actually that were made there, and that is recommended by IAMU. We actually, this group is, we have an employee of IAMU, and we share that employee with 8 other communities, and this basically clears up some things about withdrawal. None of the communities are looking to withdraw from the group, but just kind of aligns it with some of their other groups that IAMU has that are similar to the safety group. So recommend that the council make that change as well. So.
Just need a motion for that.
Yes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Agenda item 18 is we have received a renewal application for the Class C retail alcohol license from the Foxhole. And Janet has everything in order, so we just need a motion to approve that.
So moved. Support.
All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good. See, you did pretty good. Now, administrative reports. Matt?
Yeah, just a couple things. Note at our next council meeting, we'll be going over the general fund budget. We'll be having a regular scheduled meeting, and then after that, we'll be getting into the general fund. Kent will look at the tax income from the county valuations, as well as going over things like the police and the fire department, parks, street department, So we'll be doing that, and we'll be breaking for supper in there as well. So
So that'll
regularly
be a
scheduled
longer meeting.
longer meeting. Guests are welcome to stay, but don't need to either. But we'll be reviewing that budget, and then the following week we'll have a special council meeting to go over the utilities, the enterprise fund. So that will be just the budget meeting itself, no regular council meeting. So that's really all I had.
Brad, do you have anything?
I do not. Thank you.
Janet? No. Janet?
Good.
Ryan? Kurt?
Nope.
Matt? Mark? Mike? Matt, Mark, Mike? Pete,
Whatever,
Jim,
whatever.
John? Sorry, Mike. You have anything? No. Jim?
No.
My brain's fried and it's the beginning of the year. It's not good. Dan? Anything for you? Okay, council. Andrew?
Excited to be here.
Good. Mark? Brett? What was that? It left your brain, right? I don't have anything. I'm excited for a new year, and I think we're going to do some very great and fun things. So we need a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Awesome.